Welcome back to another episode of Unqualified Sports Talk, episode 17. We've aged one whole year since last week, got our after nines. We're on the road, man. We are on the road.
Mhm.
Boys, how does it feel? And what are
Dude,
we
it feels good.
what are we driving? What are we thinking?
Well, we got a nice starter car, so we're looking like a 2013 Accord. Um,
Good
very,
looking.
very dependable car, good gas mileage. We had to buy it from our dad though, who's just got over 110 miles, 110,000 miles. So we're not gonna have it for super long, but it's gonna be a really good car.
Sounds about right. Although whenever we started driving, a 2013 Accord would have been basically a brand new car.
Yeah, I know.
Um, it's just some food for thought, but hey,
I mean, I was gonna say it's like a Ford Escort going full speed.
Wait, who is that? That's Ngannou.
Yeah,
ah,
It's
he's
Ngannou's
a Ford
punch,
Escort going full speed.
which means a
honestly,
million miles per hour.
Honestly,
someone please make a graphic of the two hitting each other and just I don't know, the
I don't know
biggest
who would
mushroom
win.
cloud explosion.
Like at the Kung Fu Panda when he does the skadoosh to
Yes.
Tai, what's his name? Tai Lung.
I love-
Yeah, he does the skadoosh finger to the whooshy finger to Tai Lung.
Wow. Why wait, that's a really that brings up just a really good question. Why are more professional fighters not in these like one cartoon like fighting movies and two just real fighting movies? Like nothing on Michael B. Jordan, but he's not a real boxer.
So you're saying like why isn't Creed about Anthony Joshua,
Yeah, like why do the
or why isn't
why do
he why
real
doesn't he
boxers
play?
not try like to do this? Because I'm
Because
assuming,
it's Anthony Joshua. We already know he's gonna win.
That's a good point, but it's acting in a movie.
yeah, like well, the only person that I can remember right off the top of my head to be in like the
Chuck
UFC and in
Liddell.
okay, well never mind, two people. Sorry, because GSP was the other one. He was in one of the Captain America movies.
No, he was in Winter Soldier, the TV show that just came out.
Well, yeah, he was, but he
Well,
was also in
He was in Captain America: Winter Soldier,
yeah,
Was he for
and
real?
then he
yeah.
reprised that character in this show.
But other than him, I don't remember any other like prominent UFC or boxing figures to be in movies about UFC or about mixed martial arts or boxing.
Yeah.
Really, the only person from sports that I remember being in any movie was Max Keller, man, in
Because he
Creed.
was commentating Creed.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen Creed yet.
I've only
I
watched
say yet, but
clips,
I'm never
but
gonna watch it.
I've only watched clips, but I recognized his voice whenever I was like, oh hey,
Uh, Bobin's in John Wick 3.
wait,
Oh yeah, good
I haven't
point.
seen that one. That's awesome.
Hmm.
But that's all just good and fun, but we've got some NFL news to talk about. Not really a whole lot though, right? Because the NFL
Wouldn't
is
call it
hitting
news.
a little yeah, the NFL is hitting a little bit of a lull. Draft is over. The camps and all the preseason work is just starting to scratch to the surface, and the drama has not started to completely build up yet, and all the player personalities and their hate for playing football is only starting. So, but we've still got a few free agents that are left on the market, and I think each of us are going to take one and just kind of talk about our favorite free agent that's left on the market. So Carson, who is your favorite free agent left?
Hmm. Well, that's a good question because, well, I know who I want, and then I know who's actually the best left. I mean,
You don't. It doesn't have to necessarily be best left. Just your favorite pick in
okay,
general in terms of talent, locker room presence, whatever.
yeah, of course. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna go with KJ Wright.
Mr. KJ.
Mr. KJ Wright. KJ Wright, obviously great linebacker with the Seahawks, Super Bowl champion. He uh I don't believe has ever been an all pro. He has been a Pro Bowl linebacker, but middle of the field, solid linebacker is hard to find. And I think that's value that can be brought immediately to any team, and that's why I think he shouldn't stay unsigned. And if I'm looking at this and I see him being a free agent, if I'm a team, any team, I would bring him in, at least interview him because a guy who has succeeded is a guy that you want in your locker room.
Yeah.
End of
And
story.
yeah, and I couldn't agree more with that last statement you just said. So that's why I got to go with the guy who has won a Super Bowl. He has the most interceptions of any quarterback since 2010. That's Richard Sherman. Obviously, he's not the Richard Sherman of old defending Michael Crabtree, but I mean, he is Michael Crabtree even still in the league? I don't even remember.
No, there's no
No,
shot,
there's
right?
no way.
Well, you don't want to put him up against a sorry receiver like Crabtree, but I mean, why wouldn't you want Rich? He's not obviously the caliber of player he once was, but if you're looking for a locker room presence and someone who knows how to win and he can still play football. Yes, he's what 33 years old, but the man can still play football. He has the head knowledge of anyone in the league and some probably that plays cornerback. He's been through the ringer. He knows what it takes to win. And even if he doesn't start, he can come in and obviously um, play a few defensive snaps a game, know exactly what he's doing. But that locker room presence is going to be invaluable just because he's been there, done that multiple times. And that's why you want Richard Sherman on your team.
Yeah, I think
Well,
that experience is very important at this point in free agency because you're not looking at the best players, you know, left, right? But you're looking to fill holes where you have them. So I think I
Exactly.
agree with both of you on that.
And being able to play under like if you have a young cornerback or someone you're trying to develop, then obviously learning from the best.
yeah, and I
That
can
you
I can literally tell you right now that every single every single team in the league has multiple 23 or younger cornerbacks.
exactly. And you bring Richard Sherman in and they have the best teacher you could ever want. Besides obviously Darrell Revis.
Yeah.
True.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Well, except Sherman's his own corner, but we don't talk about that.
He is, but he's obviously the most accoladed active corner
Yeah,
in the NFL right now.
and there's value in that.
There's so much
Ton of
value in
it.
that.
well,
Austin.
well, you guys both went with Seahawks, one being former, of course. Oh, I guess technically now they're both former, but I'll stay in the division, but I'll go away from the Seahawks. And I'll say Todd Gurley is my
God,
top free
Turley.
agent because,
He was in Atlanta.
but then before that he was in now
He was
L.A.
in
LA.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
but this past Atlanta season was, I think you can or pretty fairly say it's up and down, a lot of up and down. We still have not seen that same Rams Todd Gurley that we're used to, or that we were used to, really since what, the Super Bowl against the Patriots a few years ago, like maybe 2 games before that, where he really seemed to have aggravated some of those injuries again. But I mean, he's 27, so yes, he is on that upper end of the like prime age for running backs. But I think if you're a team that stands to, you know, that has a chance to gain from maybe bringing in a third down back or someone who is not going to be your number one option, but who's going to get meaningful carries, that could really benefit both Todd Gurley and the team because I think he's shown us that he still has stuff to give, but maybe he's not, your 20, 25 carry guy anymore. But maybe a
I mean,
team,
yeah,
maybe a
because of all those
team.
injuries and stuff, he's not going to be a 25 carries a game back.
Yeah.
But he has to still be sufficient. I mean, like you said, he's 27 years old. Adrian Peterson's 85 and still able to take carries at
Well, I
a
mean,
How old is
decent
Frank
I
rate.
mean,
Gore? I mean,
He is
well, he's
95
not
or
able
100.
to do anything. He's kind of just thrown to the wolves.
yeah. But I think if you're a team, emphasis on team that values the running back position very highly and uses more than one or two backs, you could
Oh my
really
gosh,
benefit.
I know who you're about to say.
And there's two teams that I'm thinking about that, they could maybe move around some of their pieces, and one team
I
is
can say both of them right now.
all right, Carson. Who are the teams?
San Francisco and New England.
Those are literally the two teams.
Let's freaking go, baby.
Because the
No
Patriots,
compare.
if they want Julio, reports are they're gonna lose a running back, right? And I think you could fill one of those holes with Todd Gurley if you get him at a reasonable price. And the same in San
Which he
Francisco.
seems like he will come at.
Yeah, I mean, if he was going to go for a, high dollar, he would have already been gone. But the longer he remains on the market, the cheaper that contract gets, in my opinion, at least. Um, and I think that's how his camp will approach it as well, because he still seems to want to play. He's not Le'Veon Bell, But that being aside, a team like San Fran could also benefit from having him because they're going to run 19 running backs this season anyways, and half of them are probably going to get injured at some point. So
Yep.
just having a third of your roster being able to play running back, that's
Yeah, one of
that's
them
that's
is
valuable.
bound to be just a nobody
Yeah,
that gains fantasy relevance because everyone else gets hurt.
yeah.
His name's going to be something like Jonathan Montgomery III
Junior,
Jr. out of Boise State, undrafted free agent.
yeah. From 4 years ago, he's been in the
And
league
he's
for
going to
four
have a 3
years.
touchdown game. And
Yeah,
because it happens every single year with the 49ers.
It literally does. Michael Michael Turner, my cousin's gonna score a touchdown or something.
completely random name here, but Grant Van Hook.
Matt Turner. Oh,
That is a completely
yeah.
random name.
Probably score a touchdown or something.
Yeah,
I know.
honestly.
Or Matt Turner.
Wow. but but yeah, I mean, oh man,
Guys,
Carson.
I have a fun fact about Todd Gurley.
Okay.
Uh-huh. He's a buggy.
I took him with one of my first 2 picks every year in fantasy, except for the year that he was good. His first good I took him every year before his first good year and then didn't take him his first good year
Wow.
because I believed in him.
But
Apparently
hey,
not enough.
Yeah.
congratulations, Carson, on winning our fantasy league this past year.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations. You didn't have
Didn't
to
seem
take the
to
SAT.
Hey, congratulations, all three
yeah.
of us. None of us did, so
Yeah.
I know.
Well, congratulations, everyone in the league.
I might have missed the playoffs, but that's whatever.
Hey, I'm a champion. Champion once again, and by once again for the first time ever. Fantasy football champion.
I'll never forget
Can't
the
wait to have our
year.
UST league.
Oh
UST
yes,
league with us, Cliff, CHJ, and Jared. Am I forgetting
yes.
somebody? Have we
Who is
Obi.
missing? Obi,
Oh yeah, and
yeah.
Obi. Well, he doesn't watch sports or
Yeah, he
NFL.
don't he don't
He,
watch
he's
football.
he's getting ready for the draft, you know.
How could I Obi? I love him. He's my favorite.
And if Chris, if you're listening, I'm in love with your sister. Just gonna put that out there.
Oh gosh.
Oh no,
Okay, but last note about Todd Gurley because I want to ask this. Remember in the Super Bowl when they said probably something along the lines of Todd Gurley, his knee injury, he might never be the same again. Did anyone believe that?
No one believed it, but
no.
It seems to be
wait,
true.
what was the backup running back name? What was his name? He was a tank.
Malcolm Brown
He was no,
or
no,
No,
he
it
talking
was
about
the
the
wasn't. It
guy.
wasn't.
Gallagher.
He was the Broncos running back.
He was an absolute unit.
What would that have been?
Um,
God.
2018, right?
C.J.
Yeah.
Anderson.
CJ Anderson, dude, he was huge. He's like Eddie Lacy. By the way, happy birthday yesterday, Eddie Lacy.
Happy
Happy birthday,
And
birthday.
Eddie Lacy.
but it was Eddie Lacy after Eddie Lacy, but wasn't Eddie Lacy.
But he was actually good,
Yeah.
except 3 points. That might be the. We're not on topic anymore, and we're getting off of this topic, but that might be the weirdest Super Bowl of all time.
It was.
The only part I remember is seeing Ed Reed at the halftime show during that commercial.
Me too. Me too. There
And
was a
that's
genuine point in the third quarter where Ryan Allen, the punter, could have been MVP.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
actually.
But literally all I
What
remember
a
from that Super
weird
Bowl
game.
is seeing Ed Reed in that commercial.
I just remember Julian Edelman being the only person to catch a pass. That's the only part I
That's why he won the
remember.
MVP. But he's not a Hall of Famer.
That's the
Mm-mm.
only part of that Super Bowl that I remember. Well, other
Same.
than of
No,
course the win. You know.
yeah. And Gronk.
Well, guys, NFL free agency.
NFL free agency, and etc.
Yay!
We kind of just talked about what we
We're we're excited for stuff to actually happen in the NFL and not nothing.
yeah, we're
What is
excited
it?
for a UST Fantasy Football League
And excited for our
Yeah.
UST Fantasy Football League.
with a
But
$100,000 buy-in
Oh my god.
but except we don't have to buy in because
No,
we
yeah.
run the show.
because we don't have that money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 we
because
run.
we run the show.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that makes sense.
All right,
But
on to the NBA.
yeah, moving on to the NBA. There's
Yay.
actually stuff going on in the NBA.
Is
It's
there?
playoff time. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's kind of the point of the NBA. There's not really stuff going on because I think 3 series ended in 1 day 2 days ago.
Yes.
There are
Okay, but I
5
mean, we
of the
still got
series are already over,
the
which is
East was
awesome.
just boring. The East
Yeah,
was
which who would have ever
essentially
thought?
gentleman's sweep or not gentleman's sweep, meaning clean sweep.
Yes.
I think the whole way, right?
Yeah, they're all done.
Nets, gentlemen's,
Bucks was a
Knicks.
sweep.
Knicks got
Knicks,
gentlemen's.
And so did the Sixers.
and
Yeah,
so did the
yeah. All
Sixers. So
all
yeah,
four
that
overall.
nothing was interesting at all. Um, so that happened. But the West, what? There's only one series done in the West.
Yeah, only one. There's still 3 left. Still Mavs, whoever,
Mavs,
Jazz.
Clippers.
Mavs,
Uh,
Clippers, the Jazz
Jazz already
won.
Jazz
won.
finished theirs in 5.
Yeah, Nuggets, Blazers, and Lakers, Suns are the only ones left.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they're all 3-2 at the moment.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is
So we
wild.
could get
And
3 game sevens.
yeah, the West is super fun to look into right now.
Wild, Wild West.
We have the Blazers and Nuggets playing right now, Lakers and Suns playing later. So who knows how well this podcast will age with those games going on right now, this being released in the morning. But obviously, Clippers go down 3-2. Lakers are down 3-2 currently right now. Like, how much trouble do we really think the LAs are in? Because we came in here thinking that it was going to be one of those two teams coming out of the West, and there's a really good possibility both of them don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
make it out of the first round. I mean, if
yeah,
you had offered me a bet, for any amount of money, any odds, the LA's versus the field, 6 months ago, I would have taken them. No
oh,
doubt.
you tell me, all right, one of the two LA teams have to get out of the first round, and I'll give you $500, but you got to put down $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, same thing, but one of them get to the conference finals.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Yeah.
just it's wild. And I mean, everybody sees the Jazz and Suns as at the 1 and 2 seed, but no one thought those were actually legit 1 and 2 seeds, right?
At least compared to the 3 and the 4, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the star
yeah.
power.
In terms of winning their 1-8 and 2-7 matchup, I don't think anyone doubted, but
Well, the 7 matchup's the Lakers.
yeah, and well, sorry, like a normal 7 matchup, not one with
Yeah,
AD and
like
LeBron.
winning a playoff series in any situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it's
like
crazy.
which team, cuz I have my opinion on this, but which team is in more trouble for you guys, Clippers or the Lakers?
Lakers, and it's not even close.
Really?
Well, I think it depends on what you mean by trouble.
Like which one
'Cause which
is more likely to lose either in 6 or 7, in
Oh,
your
well,
opinion.
AD's hurt, so the Lakers. But if you're talking about actual trouble, you know,
in terms of
well, I don't know.
franchise.
Yeah, I might still say the Lakers because of the age of LeBron, but still, there's so much uncertainty with the Clippers because if they don't win, they're going to blow it up, right? They have to.
Have to.
Yeah, have
They,
to.
if
Maybe,
they if
well,
they
not
don't if
this
they don't get
year,
a
but there's a very short time frame.
yeah, if they don't win this year or even next year, failed experiment, you're done.
Yeah.
Obviously, Doc Rivers wasn't the problem. I guess Ty Lue's not the problem. I don't know. Um,
Coaching matters.
yeah,
Yeah, in the
big.
NBA, like who cares?
Um, so what is the problem? You have to ask yourself. You have Paul George, who's supposed to be a star. Kawhi's supposed to be a superstar, and you have who else you have on that team? You have Rondo, who's a leader, especially for the postseason. You have Pat Beverly, who's supposed to be a lockup defender, and you just have all around good players at every position. So
Yep.
why do you
Marcus
suck?
Morris, Reggie Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reggie Bullock. No, it is Reggie Jackson. But yeah, like you have to ask yourself, what is going on? I don't know.
And where do we draw the line?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Because you get rid of a Hall of Fame coach and nothing changes, and you actually do worse,
I think
respectfully.
me personally, you kind of have to circle Paul George there, but that's just IMO. I mean, it's in my
Yeah.
opinion.
whoa. Yeah, I don't know. I agree that the Lakers probably have more to lose because here's the thing about the Clippers, right? Yes, they're gonna blow it up, but the Clippers have no like legacy to stand on, right? And the
That's a good
Lakers,
point.
like their history is being so good but so bad. You know, I mean, think about the big three that they had, like so good but so cursed. But the Lakers, I mean, their championship history, like they are one of the best two teams in NBA history.
We
So,
talk about just that absolutely tough criticism you just give the Clippers.
I mean, but am I wrong?
No,
They just aren't representing anything. So that's pretty they're
they
it's gonna
literally
be
aren't
pretty
though.
painless.
they
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 have
I
have
know.
zero
yeah,
banners up there.
they have no legacy to
Zero.
stand on. So it's like no
Okay,
legacy other than being mediocre.
but also in the past year, LeBron's given you a title, so like, can you really be that mad?
No, I mean, and that's the thing that comes with like the bandwagon fans is people will get really mad and forget that they won a title last year, and they'll be like, "LeBron
When any other
sucks."
when any other
Well,
franchise ever would have killed to win a title in the last
I
2
mean,
years.
when it comes to a franchise with 17 titles, and I guess this can translate to literally any other sport at any level, if you've won a lot, then not winning sucks.
Yeah,
But if you've never won, then winning one is generally sufficient. Like the Raptors, they're sitting pretty.
yeah. It's like every year
They've
that
never been happier.
the Yankees don't win another World Series, fans just get more and more grumpy.
Because
But
I mean, they've won like a quarter of them.
yeah, 27 out of 100 and like what
One,
30, 115, something
no,
like
I
that.
think it's like 100, yeah, 115, something like that.
All right,
I don't
guys,
know.
but question.
There's a level of expectation that comes with the Lakers, which is why there was so much. I guess it's excitement, but just pretty much everything around when LeBron came, because there is just this level that you are expected to perform, but also like deliver.
Yeah.
But also, you can't really control a high ankle sprain and a groin injury.
Oh yeah, I
You
agree.
know, to two of the NBA's top 10 players.
And
Oh, exactly.
that's the cost of having two superstars or two supermax players, you know, I mean, in a salary cap league. Like if they go down, the pieces that you have are just not as good around them because you have less money to bring stuff in.
Hmm.
So, like that's the risk you have to
That's the risk you have to take in the NBA.
yeah, because
Same thing with the Warriors
yeah,
and the Raptors finals.
true.
Hmm.
Because you're not going to win without that, big 2, big 3 unless the team that you're playing in the finals their big two or big three gets hurt. So
Yeah.
which won't happen to two
yeah,
teams.
the
It will
the
not.
the Clay and KD thing was just bizarre. So
Yeah. Very.
Stroke of just awful luck. But guys, what's the like landscape of the playoffs going to look like if both LA teams are out?
the
I mean,
East has a
is
chance.
I was about to say, does that give the Nets just kind of an automatic finals win?
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Maybe not
whoa.
automatic because the
There's
76ers are
somebody you're
still
leaving
there.
out, and it's the best player in the league,
Joel Embiid.
Seth Curry.
I don't know. I mean,
The Sixers
set
fixed
six.
their biggest problem with two really good shooters and Seth Curry and Danny Green. And Danny Green has to make it to the
Oh, that's
finals.
right. He does have to make it to the finals because of Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep.
Wow.
And he's a
Forgot about that.
above average defender and hasn't really been exactly the best shooter this year, but he's still a great shooter and has won. So
Yep.
Yeah.
they've got the championship DNA. They've got the talent if Embiid is healthy, which we don't know anymore. Hey, respect to the Sixers.
Yeah. I mean,
Respect.
I think that kind of puts the spotlight on a team like Phoenix, though, right? Because then, in my mind, if Phoenix, and I think they will win, I think they're going to win tonight.
Hmm.
Bold take. But I think
I don't think
then,
it's that bold.
for me, the matchup to watch for in the West then becomes Phoenix and Dallas, which could be really cool. Um, I mean, no disrespect to Utah, but I don't think they'll make it out.
Well, someone's got to make it through Denver as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then they're
one
no,
any one of those four teams though, we're gonna see a completely unfamiliar face in the finals
yeah.
coming out of the West
I mean,
if
you're
both
talking
LA
Which
about
teams
is
no
lose.
Kawhi, no
which is
LeBron.
awesome.
No Steph, no Kawhi, no LeBron.
Yeah, the biggest name that
Uh,
we would have left at that point would be KD and Kyrie
well, yeah,
as far as
just
playoff basketball.
excluding the East though, coming out of the West, like there's gonna be a new face for the finals, and
I hope
that's
it's
something
Luca. Let it be known.
that hadn't happened in since 2015.
Yeah, I mean,
And
if
and
it's what,
before then was the Spurs. So it's
yeah.
who's gonna I don't know. It's gonna be weird
Yeah,
I
seeing
mean,
and
one
if
of those
it's
teams in the
Dallas and Philly,
ooh,
I mean, that's just a finals that I mean, you can't miss it, but
yeah,
stars are born.
it might be refreshing though.
yeah. I mean,
Stars
because
turn into superstars.
it's been
Yep.
LeBron,
I mean,
Curry,
that's what
Dirk, Kobe for like, and Tim
it
Duncan.
was,
Like that's
and it
been
was
it.
Katie and Russell Westbrook that
Yeah,
one season.
KG
I mean, that's
and
what East.
the well, I'm just talking about like big finals names
Yeah.
over the past 15 years. But there's not been a whole
And
lot of
when
variety. Like it's been a lot of the same teams.
Yeah, it's
a
kind of been
lot of
So,
that
copies and
comes with
paste.
but
a lot of that comes with, the super teams.
yeah, yeah. Which
Well, and the fact that every team is a super team now, which sucks.
Kinda.
I hate it.
No one in the
Yeah.
West is if the both LAs get tossed out.
I mean, yeah, but you can also look at it as, I mean, Portland has two superstar players.
yeah,
Dallas
But
doesn't.
but
That's nice.
Portland has been in the playoffs every single year with them too, and they haven't done anything.
Oh
So,
yeah, but I'm still saying it's like it's not evenly matched or evenly balanced.
but
Perfectly
then
balanced
but then
television.
then again, the Blazers have to win 2 games to move on.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
mean that's
they are
fair.
winning
There you
right
go.
now at halftime. Well, it's like 2 minutes to halftime, but maybe
Crazy
Rest of us
times.
aged
there's a chance.
podcast.
Crazy times in
Wild
the
Wild
NBA,
West.
boys. But I guess just something else we can touch on the NBA. We don't have to really dive into it, but we can at least acknowledge that Brad Stevens stepped down as head coach of the Celtics to become the president of the Celtics.
Yep,
So
and Danny Ainge
they
stepped as the president.
Yep,
Yeah,
So
so there's a
long term win.
huge gap for head coach. Who knows who's gonna fill it? I have no idea. For the Celtics job, that's the most coveted job in the NBA besides the Lakers head coach, probably.
Doc Rivers.
Generally, yeah. But also you would kind of want like an organization with like a president that's, you know, en- entrenched, I guess is the word.
I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, there's not really a huge development besides what we just said, but there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, one of the things that Danny Ainge said was in reference to like the Kyrie Irving situation where like he stepped on the logo and
Oh,
he saw that as like, they disrespected like our organization and none of our players like said anything about it and he took that as a sign of like I don't know how to like be connected to these like young players anymore. So that's why he stepped down or part of it. Um I I don't really understand that, but I do understand the whole like I just don't have anything left to give. So I don't know. It is a weird
Yeah, I
situation.
hadn't heard that yet, so that's very interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
it makes sense, right? Like that the logic, but I don't see why that would be the case. Like how you don't know how to inspire these players. It seems like it's one word and that's championship, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess that doesn't go far enough in a league where, you know, you just have to score 25 a game to make 40 million a year.
Yeah. Cuz winning
You
doesn't
just have
really
to
matter.
quote get yours and every headline goes to Russell Westbrook, who's never won anything alone.
Yeah. Or with anyone. I mean, you
He's
know,
never won anything as the best player.
or as the second best player.
Well, I mean, they did win a conference title.
Yeah, but yeah, but you know,
Serge Ibaka.
but still,
Well,
I don't know.
Serge
The
Ibaka.
Celtics situation is interesting, and I don't know. A lot of that young talent is starting to not be 22 anymore. Um, and now you've got those two core guys and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, and it's like please do something with them before they walk and go somewhere else because
yep.
they can't win.
And
Um,
all of that pressure is now on Brad Stevens.
yeah, which I
True.
think he'll
Because
do
now,
fine.
especially because now he has to hire a coach.
Yeah, I think having him
Which
in that process will help,
do
but
y'all think they're gonna go young coach or proven coach?
Doc
Guys,
Rivers,
Doc Rivers,
Coach Shevsky
no way.
guys, Doc Rivers.
just gonna jump ship after 1 year
Yeah, might as well.
and return back to
Guys,
Oh,
Boston.
you know how big that would be.
It would
oh
be
yeah,
unreal.
Paul
D
Pierce.
Didn't he get traded?
So it was weird.
Well, Kyle Korver. Um,
Oh, guys, imagine if they did bring back an old player like the Nets did with Steve Nash. Obviously, not a player for them, but
Bill Russell.
they bring back Larry Bird
That would actually be crazy.
Yeah,
as
he
the
got traded
coach.
for an unprotected first round pick.
Wow.
Did our stats guy tell you that?
Yeah, just got in from the stats guy.
That's crazy.
Honestly, though, the
It
value
was
on that
crazy.
pick because of like the lack of value in a coach in the NBA. I mean,
Sure.
you take it.
And I guess so.
Like
But
if you're not a super young
that
team with
was
a
to the
coach.
Clippers, right?
Yeah.
Well, they
Dude,
didn't
that
do
first
anything
round
with it, so
I was about to say, who's the first round pick that they got?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see what the stats guy says.
Well, I guess while the stats guy's getting back to us on that, I guess Carson and Austin, y'all want to shoot your shot in some baseball?
I think so.
Well, it doesn't really have anything to do with baseball except that it involves a baseball team.
True.
Guys, the stats guy got back to me, and it's hilarious.
Who is
Uh,
it? Oh, can
It's
I guess? Can
RJ
I guess? Can
Hunter.
I guess? His dad broke his leg.
And he fell out of the wheelchair.
I know.
Yikes.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah, so this isn't really baseball because Bryce can actually talk about it. But the Cleveland Indians, we know, have announced that they're changing their name. And they've said the initial list was like 1,900 names. I don't know how many it was. It was like 1,200. I was exaggerating. But they've said they've narrowed it down. There's no noise out of the organization as to any of the names involved. But just some of the ideas. The fans, I can't even get, I can't even say it. The fans want the Cleveland baseball team to be called the Avengers or the Guardians or the Spiders, which is a name from their history. Which I mean, I don't hate Spiders as a nickname. It's just kind of I don't know. It's kind of weird.
It's like Richmond, except
Yeah.
in Cleveland.
Why don't they just normalize it and be the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Finally, the Cavs can be good.
The Cavaliers 2.
Oh my gosh.
Or
No, they just
could
change
they
it and it's
be
Cleveland Indians 2.
could they be the Browns, do you think?
The Cleveland football team.
No, all right, look.
Baseball team.
I am so happy that they are actually going to change their name and not just go to like generic name.
I
Because
mean,
okay, but
generally they were big on Cleveland Baseball Club.
right,
That
right.
was like that had a lot of momentum to start with.
But like okay, 1 year for the football team, right? That I'm fine with because that's a big decision to make. I mean, that's millions and millions of dollars in branding. So you want to make the right decision. But I feel like you make that decision within a year. Like you don't sit as the Washington football team for 2, 3, 4, an undisclosed amount of
Yeah.
years.
Which I
Like,
think they will, though, because the Washington football team took off and became popular, which I'm
yeah,
fine with.
Yeah, and I don't hate it, but that's a
No,
conversation for another
no,
day.
yeah.
it's unique. It's unique, so it
It's
can
like
stick. But they cannot go over to Cleveland, be the Cleveland baseball team. That's a copy and paste right there.
yeah.
Well, it would be baseball club. That's what I meant.
Okay, okay, okay.
So yeah, the Cleveland Avengers and their logo is gonna be the A from Avengers Tower.
Oh
That means
no.
someone. That means like the Dodgers have to become the Thanoses.
The Dallas Thanos.
Could you imagine the LA what's Thanos's groupies called? The
The
LA
Black
Black Order.
Order. Yeah. Oof, that's kind of tough.
Honestly, it is kind of tough.
Or let's just change the Oaklands to the A's to that, so that way, like the Raiders. Wait, they're not Oakland anymore. Just kidding.
So we just the Oakland Raiders baseball team.
Got it.
So yeah, let's see how creative Cleveland gets with their new team name. I know when I was growing up, I never thought ever that we would ever see teams change names. And then, well, Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I'm
But
team.
there's
The
been
Cleveland default skins.
Ooh,
yeah,
I was
there's
gonna
been a lot
say.
in the past like 10 years, which is cool. It's really cool to see what they come up with, and it's really cool to brainstorm like the Cleveland Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ah, yes.
But that's just stupid.
Yeah.
But
And
watch it
hopefully that doesn't.
actually.
Oh no.
Like it should go to a. I think it's going to go to a vote at some point, but I'm not sure what like part of the fans will have in there.
Yeah. It'll
But
probably
I will be voting,
be.
and I'll be voting for the stupidest one.
Yeah. Like
I can
the
assure you that.
Just
Cleveland
like just
Thomas
like
the
the
Choo Choo
just
Train.
like they let the fans vote for the cover of Madden 25. It's the only thing I
Yeah,
can.
but what's going to
That's the only.
happen in
That's the only thing I.
2025?
That no. That was the name of like Madden 14.
Yeah, I know, but what's going to happen in
I don't
2025?
know. It's just gonna be called Madden.
The
No,
last
it'll be
one they
called
ever made.
Madden 14.
All right. In other news.
Yeah. In other news, the Cleveland Barracudas.
Oh, that's not the worst one I've ever heard. It just doesn't make any
But
sense because they're
yeah, because
nowhere
there's
near the ocean.
yeah, at
The
all.
Cleveland Gators.
Awesome. Next.
The the Cleveland Smokestacks.
You know I'm laughing. All right. Well,
You could
Coach
hear
K
that.
announced. Yep,
Maybe I
Coach K
will.
announced that he is retiring after next season. Mm. Coach K has officially announced that next season will be his last. Obviously, it's an end of a career that we could spend all day just trying to encapsulate everything that he's done, and you just can't because that's how storied it has been. But you know, five-time national champion, and that's all that I'm gonna say.
The GOAT,
Pro-
Saluting.
undisputed.
probably, probably the goat. It's gonna be very hard for somebody to match what he has done. I think, especially with the way that college basketball is trending.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Coach K.
Yeah.
It's a big moment. It's the I guess it's the walking off into the sunset that he's looking forward to. I'm very interested to see how teams will, um, I guess the word is celebrate, what sort of send off they will have for him, opposing teams. I know that if I'm sitting front row, it's not going to be a welcome exit because it would just be hilarious.
Yeah. The
But
Carolina
We'll see.
one is going to
you
be
know who's
interesting.
you know who's kicking themselves right now though?
Who?
Jeff Capel? Dude,
Dude,
he was in line for it and
I know.
wait, what, 2, 3 years after he took the pit job? What an
So yeah,
idiot.
that's interesting. Like there's a lot of Duke guys just all across the country, and it
No,
just
but
goes
no,
to
it
the associate coach.
it was Jeff Capel's job.
Oh yeah,
It
absolutely
was
it was.
his job. And now all of his players are transferring from Pitt. He don't have anything except and yeah,
That's tough. That's really tough.
and then the man
Um,
with the longest neck in history gets to be Duke's coach.
Hey. But hey,
Nolan Smith.
now we get to see Coach K and Dick
No.
Vitale on commentary. So
Coach K will not. He's 74 years old.
one game at Maui, please.
No, that's Bill
I can
Walton
get behind that.
territory.
Yeah, but they could do three.
Okay, okay,
Bill Walton, Coach K, and Dick Vitale
okay,
in Maui. Duke, Michigan
okay.
State.
But the moral of the story is congratulations.
Congrats, Coach
Isn't he
K.
the all-time winningest coach in college basketball history, or
Yep,
is he not?
he was the first one to hit 1K wins, and
Yeah,
then
he's the greatest.
um Syracuse. Why can't I think? Jim
Boeheim.
Boeheim did it, but then he got his wins taken away, so I don't think he's there anymore.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well,
Buddy will carry him home.
dude, I love him. That's not a conversation we're having though about Buddy Bayhug.
But I
Yep.
guess
Well,
in other news,
yeah.
there's two guys with the last name Paul, and neither one of them are Disney stars anymore.
No, they're both
They're
box now.
boxers. Yes,
I didn't
yes.
think Logan was ever a Disney star, was he?
Or TikTok or Vine or whatever the kids were watching back then.
I
They were
don't
both on
remember what.
Vine, but one of them was on
Yeah,
Disney.
Jake was on Disney for
Jake was
sure.
on Disney. It was Bizarrevark. I only know that because of articles that I've read.
Nice.
I've never actually seen it.
And then they're
And
obviously both YouTube stars.
yeah,
Yeah, of course. No,
but
that's not even a word that does it justice. The like
Mega stars.
transcendent.
which is annoying.
They're YouTube
But
icons.
that doesn't matter because Logan Paul gets to fight one of the greatest boxers of all time, Floyd Mayweather. And he's going to probably get destroyed, even though he's going to weigh 30 pounds more than him. But okay, listen to this. He's a higher betting favorite than Conor McGregor was fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Well,
Arguably one of the greatest strikers in UFC history.
I guess just because everyone knows
Yeah.
it's not a serious match, right? Like,
Well, I think yeah, that comes from a it not being a serious match, and well, weight matters a lot more in boxing as well.
Yeah.
Which I
And
know
for
it's ridiculous to say with one of the greatest of all time and Logan Paul, but like there's a reason why weight classes in boxing are like 5 pounds.
Yeah, and he's gonna have 30 on him.
Yeah, at least.
Excuse me.
I'm still not taking him though, even though there's not going to be a winner announced.
That's so
No, I
dumb that
mean,
there's not gonna be a winner. The only way someone can win is knockout.
or yeah, TKO or knockout.
I'm
It's still gonna
including.
be ref or
Mhm.
Imagine
Just
no
no
referee, just two
just no
guys
judges,
alone.
which is I don't know, it kinda pisses me off, but
I
Yeah,
think it'll be fun.
for betting it really throws a lot of stuff off.
yeah, I don't
But
know how that's gonna work. But, like, I don't understand why there's not scores because 'cause I'm sure it was Floyd Mayweather that decided this, but there's no way Logan Paul wins off points.
But well, even then, like it's an amateur fight, it doesn't go on your record. Or it's an exhibition fight, it doesn't go on your record.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was probably just in the best interest of everyone involved for some reason I don't really understand.
Yeah. I don't know either, but
There's
well,
something behind the scenes there, probably.
switching sides over to the other Paul
Mhm.
brother, his next fight just got announced after knocking out Ben Askren in a half a second. He gets another washed up wrestler named Tyron Woodley. Now
Hey, Tyron Woodley's a striker,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
He's a better striker.
he's
he's a
good at
better
getting
striker, but
struck.
he's still a wrestler at heart. He hadn't won a fight since 2018. He was world champion though, so that's something. Obviously, he's gonna be way better than Ben Askren in
In
every
every
regards,
way.
in every way possible. But Jake Paul comes out the betting favorite.
That's
Say what you
wild.
want about that, but after seeing that last fight, I don't think I'd be surprised if he won either, which I hate to say.
No. I mean, it's not really surprising, but at the same
No,
time, it's interesting because that's how much traction he's gained and how little Woodley has gained.
but we'll
Yeah.
be tuning into it.
Yeah, of
Come on,
course, absolutely.
Tyron Woodley, please.
Bryce, are you gonna put money on Tyron Woodley?
I don't think I put money on Ben Askren, did I?
You definitely did.
I did?
Yep. You definitely put money on Ben Askren,
I don't remember that.
not Nate Robinson.
No, no, no. I probably did. I
Nate
probably put
Robinson is an athlete.
Yeah.
okay, but
Jake Paul's never been in the ring with an athlete.
Tyron Woodley's actually a fighter, so we'll see. Ben Askren's not actually a fighter.
Yeah, and then if Jake Paul beats Tyron Woodley, then he's gonna go just a half a step up. Somebody who's slightly better that will get just as much hate and just as much of a crowd.
Yeah,
He
And
gets
it's a
Khabib.
perfect formula.
but it doesn't matter if you're Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren, Nate Robinson. You're getting money, a
True.
lot
Yeah,
of money.
yeah.
And you're not
And the
getting
thing
beat up
is,
as bad.
all of them actually want to beat him until they lose, which has been hilarious.
Yeah, and then they're content because they're getting way more money from that than they
They're like,
were their
well,
UFC
I
fights.
prepared anyway. Like, yeah, you're gonna say that because you lost.
But still, they're getting paid 10 times what they would from
Yeah, I expect Tyron Woodley to actually try though.
me too. I
Well, I mean, not that
seeing
everyone else didn't
well,
try, but
no,
I expect him to.
seeing Ben Askren's reaction, he cared a lot that he lost.
Well, yeah, but that's also how you have to play that off in that situation.
That's
After
true.
getting embarrassed, you have to play it off like, "Oh, I didn't care."
Yeah, like, oh, yeah, whatever. I meant to do
That's
that,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
Like if somebody breaks your ankles.
No one's ever
True.
pretended to just fall, Carson.
Ever.
Like,
That's
oh
funny.
man, I fell down.
But please, Tyron Woodley, for the sake of humanity, kill him. Kill him now. But and the undercard in that fight, Chad Johnson's fighting, so that's happening.
That's probably the most relevant thing of all time.
Yeah, but
Is it though?
man,
No, it's just kind of out of nowhere.
I just want him to fight another receiver.
Do you imagine Chad Johnson versus Megatron?
That would be awesome.
Exactly. Ocho Cinco v Megatron.
Gosh, dude.
Remember that
Uh,
time that I realized that Ocho Cinco was his number, and that's why
Shut up.
he was Ocho Cinco? Like in
Wow.
2019 when I realized that.
But it's back to Johnson now, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Because he's
Yeah.
no longer Ocho Cinco because he's retired.
Sure. But that was actually his
Shut
last
up.
name.
Yeah, but now it like wouldn't make sense, you know,
I mean, yeah,
unless
I
he wears
guess.
number
But
85 whenever he boxes.
How funny that
interesting.
would be. But
All
I
right,
guess
on to
that's
the next one. Chad Johnson is fighting, and that's kind of funny, and it'll probably be worth watching.
probably.
Probably.
Mont.
Segment.
Time for the
Time for
segments.
time for everybody's favorite part of the show, segments. And I'm introducing myself here because, guys, I have the first segment.
Everyone's favorite.
It's everybody's favorite trivia. And I think you guys might get this one, but I don't know. We're going
Okay.
back to the world of football since it was kind of lackluster. Okay. But the NBA playoffs are happening, so we're going to go to NFL playoffs.
Wait.
Who was the who? It's NFL playoffs. Who was the first rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl era to throw 3 touchdown passes in a playoff game?
Hmm. All right, I have a guess. How long has the Super Bowl era been?
This is 67.
Okay. Hmm.
I think I know this because it was recent. It was in my
Was it
lifetime, so I
really?
have a guess. It was either 3 or it was either 3 or 4. But
In
I
your
think I
lifetime or like recently?
like recently and in my lifetime, you know.
Okay. Well, I have my guess. When Austin's ready, I guess we can both give our
All right,
guesses.
you
All
guys
right, I'm
count
good. I'm
down and
good. I'm
say it at
good.
the same time.
All right.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Dak.
Big
Oh,
Ben.
So we have a Big Ben and a Dak. Big Ben is the wrong answer. Dak Prescott is the correct answer.
Let's go.
Congratulations, Austin, being the winner of this week's trivia. But yeah, it was in 2016, his rookie year. He threw for 302 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a losing effort against the Packers. So all that hard work for nothing, Dak.
Yeah.
Good job. And I still think you're an average quarterback.
Don't say it. All right, that's fine.
that's tough.
Wait, guys, I kind of want to ask a trivia question because I saw it this week and I can't wait.
Okay.
All right. Bonus trivia question. And you might know it, but if you don't make me feel bad about it. Or if you do know it, don't make me feel bad about it. What two, and then again, there could be more, but for all I know, there's two. What two active NBA players only have 9.5 fingers?
What? What? What?
NBA.
Yep, there's two. And I can give you a hint.
Okay. I'm going to say Taj Gibson
Okay.
and Udonis Haslam.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh man.
One of them is only technically active.
So he's
So a
not on
free
a
agent.
team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll echo Udonis Haslam because that seems like a very Udonis Haslam thing.
It does.
And I'm trying to think of someone who would like do something
Jason Capono.
like someone who would do something to get them there, but they're not obvious. Raul Neto. All right. Final answer.
Mm. None of those are correct. You want one more guess, or you just
No,
want me
we're
to give it
not.
to you?
I'm not gonna get it.
I'm not gonna get it.
Gerald Green
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
okay. That's not surprising
and
though.
It is to
Davis
me.
Bertans.
Wait,
Bertans only has.
really?
Yep, on his shooting hand.
He's a good shooter too.
So
Like,
it's a cheat code.
wow.
It's like that kicker in the NFL who had the flat
The club
boot.
foot.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry. No, he didn't have club feet, uh, which is something completely different. But he didn't have toes, so his foot was literally just like a club.
That's awesome.
It was legit flat. It
I
was just a
mean,
hammer.
you never,
He absolutely boot it.
literally, you never stub your toe that way though. So, I mean,
But yeah, I saw that. I saw that this week about Davis Bertans, and then I had to do my research, and I was like, "What, Gerald Green?" So that was hilarious.
Thanks for the trivia sidebar, Carson.
And I believe both of them were from birth, or at least one of them was. I don't remember.
They gave me an artificial one when I only had 9.5 fingers at birth.
All
hmm.
right, on to
I
Hook'em.
mean,
It's my
hey,
turn. Friday, June 4th, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern on ESPN. We given you some televised games this week. Clippers at Mavs, Game 6. I don't really know. I don't really know what to go with in this. My heart is telling me that Luca's going to close it out, but then again, Luca is what, like my age? Give me the championship DNA in Game 6, not Paul George. Hook 'em Clippers, at least for Game 6.
Hook 'em
And I
Clippers.
also just want a Game 7.
Greatest words in sports.
Game 7.
Game 7.
What about Bang?
Blocked by James.
Honestly, I'll never forget when I heard that.
it was iconic, and that's an
And then
understatement.
the next day, we've got a double header that isn't really a double header. Saturday, June 5th, which is in like a day. 7 o'clock. Oh, I didn't realize that we had the baseball game first and then the basketball game. Red Sox Yankees, the most storied rivalry of all time. Rodriguez versus Tyone. And I don't really know who I want to take, but I'm taking the Red Sox because I like Eduardo Rodriguez. And I think that would make Austin happy, especially because his Celtics suck.
It
And
does
then
make me
30 minutes
happy.
after, 7:30, TNT, NBA playoffs on TNT. The Bucks at the Nets game 1. And I mean, I've disrespected Giannis too much, but like, come on.
No
All
way.
right, give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. Screw it.
Wow, you're
Screw the
wild.
Nets. Screw Kyrie. Hate James Harden too. Kevin Durant's a snake in a cupcake. Give me the Bucks. Giannis is gonna have 32, 11, 4, 3, 1, and 6 turnovers. Um, but hey, hook 'em Bucks, hook 'em Sox, and hook 'em Clippers.
Oh, teams.
I
Hook
like
'em.
that.
Go.
All the away teams this go around.
He's feeling it, baby. You like that?
You like that?
Yes.
Number 12. Um, Carson, 3-0 week, baby. How you feeling about
Yeah,
it?
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Honestly, this one
But
has
now,
potential.
guys, not one, not two.
Uh,
Okay, we're gonna end at 3. Top 3 this week is top 3 meats. Hey,
So interesting.
top 3
yeah.
meats.
And I
And
wrote this down without like any descriptions or anything because it's kind of up to you.
and to clarify for our audience, it's MEATS, not MEETS.
Austin,
That's a good
who
point.
thinks
That's a
that it
good
was
point.
gonna be a track meet?
I don't know. You never know.
Well, we met Mike Jaminski, so that's top three
We
meets.
did. That is a top 3 meat.
Well, and also Jay Billis.
That's also kind of a sidebar story. Me and Carson were at the ACC tournament in 2018 and
19.
2019, and it was at Time Warner Cable Arena,
Arena.
Spectrum Arena now. And we said, "Oh, let's walk around the back of it to see if we can't see anybody famous." And as soon as we walk behind it, there's just Mike Jaminski just posted up there, standing there talking to somebody, and we go and interrupt them and demand a picture. It was pretty great.
Yeah, what in
Nice.
the world are the chances of that?
We also got to meet
The
Magic
backpack.
Johnson from about 700 feet away, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I said, "Let's go over there and meet him," and Bryce refused.
I was comfortable in my seat watching basketball.
Yeah, but
And
it's
we
magic.
also got to see friend of the show, Chris Herron Jr. play that tournament too. So,
Oh yeah.
Does that
shouts
mean
out.
does that
All
mean
right,
that
top
I
three meets, Austin.
okay. Well, does that mean that
But
I met LeBron because I was like 150 feet from him
In
in Charlotte whenever his son was playing? Son was playing a like an AAU game or something in Charlotte, and I went with one of my roommates in college, and LeBron was there.
Okay. And gosh,
and you didn't approach him?
Oh no, there was like 15 security guards like posted around him,
Surprised.
but and I met Zion from like 6,000 feet because he was in the locker room whenever we were at the NCAA tournament with Gardner Webb.
I
So
was closer to him once. He was at a Travis Scott concert with me.
that's awesome.
Okay, top 3 meets
Okay,
awesome.
top
Keep
three
it
meets.
going.
Top
Wait,
three
what
meets.
the
Top. All
world?
right, number three. Number three. Number three. Sunday. 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 Anyways, number three. Burgers, ham,
Burgers.
burgers. Just classic. Goes with anything that is a bun
Yep, you're
and
right.
lettuce and tomatoes. But I mean, burgers. They're not special or like what's it called? They don't have to be very specific. They're just kind of generic meat. And thank you, Bryce. Um, number two. It's gonna be chicken, but I'm gonna say this: chicken in like fried rice specifically.
I can't make fried rice, but if I
It's
could, I would.
it's very
Tough ditch.
rewarding whenever you figure it out, though, because I mean it's one cheap
Do you have
and
a
two
wok?
not Yeah, I do.
Of course you do. That's awesome.
It is. Oh, it's great. But number one, I gotta go with brisket.
Ooh, yes, sir. That's an
Have
underdog too.
have you ever been to Texas?
No, but I've been to Lexington barbecue.
Is
Yes,
that your
sir,
dream?
baby.
Is that your dream to have brisket from Texas?
I mean, not really, unless I'm eating it with Josh Hamilton, but
Mm, good
or
point.
Joey Gallo, but I don't know. There's
James
some
Harden.
like the first time I had brisket, um, it like I watched Man versus Food and stuff like that as a kid and like middle schooler, and he was always eating brisket at all of these places in the Midwest, and I'd never tried it. And so whenever I tried it, it didn't matter if it tasted like garbage. It was like a holy food to me at that point because I'd watched people eat it on TV, and it was as good as advertised. So
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really even know what brisket is. I've eaten
It's
it.
it's the stuff that people say to squeeze in the juice.
all I know is it's
It's the
really,
thing.
really
It's the
good.
thing that you get at Popeyes that's really dry.
That's a biscuit.
Oh shoot.
Wait,
Okay, but what's drier, the Popeyes biscuits or uh, Hawaiian Punch?
wait. I was gonna, I was gonna compare Bojangles biscuits and Popeyes biscuits.
You could put a million ice cubes in Hawaiian Punch and it wouldn't be cold. You know exactly what I'm talking about too. It's
Yeah, but
just
you know the biggest desert on Earth.
Antarctica. What?
Yep.
It doesn't have to be warm in order for it to be a desert. It just has to um,
Lack
lose more
precipitation.
water,
Yeah,
than it gains.
That's awesome.
something like that.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
All right, Bryce. Top three meats:
Heh.
cheese
Um,
fries.
all right, all right.
um, top 3 meats. Number 3, we have, uh, chicken supremes from Bojangles. Um, I guess wait, does it have to be types of meat, or can it be specific
I
like
think it
that?
can be any meat like
Okay,
item.
then number 3, I and not I don't have chicken supremes. I changed my mind. Arby's roast beef sandwich. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It has to be the greatest roast beef sandwich on planet Earth and maybe the best sandwich on planet Earth.
Yeah, but it looks so gross.
No, it
Like,
doesn't. It looks so good.
okay, I'll send you a picture, but it
No, Austin, I've had Arby's a million times. I don't need a
I had
picture
it
of
2
the
days
sandwich.
ago.
Yeah, I don't need a picture of it to know what it looks like.
I'll send you the picture that I'm thinking of then.
That's like me saying, "No, you don't know what you look like. Let me send you a picture of yourself." Um,
I mean, I can do that too.
Number 2, we'll go with we'll go with a good old sirloin steak. They're amazing, juicy, tender. Change my mind. New York strip. Um,
It's steak and steak.
no, it's not. No,
It's
it's
obviously not, but
not. New
for
York
this
strip.
sake, it's the same.
And number 1, we have a good burger. It can't be beat, unmatched. Lettuce, tomato, onion, mayonnaise, American cheese. That's it. Don't add any bacon, fried eggs, mac and cheese, any other
Cheese
garbage.
fries.
Just a classic burger with everything on it except pickles that people would normally get on it. Because I'm not a big pickles guy, but leave out all the fancy stuff. Give me the simple stuff. Greatest food on planet Earth. Not even considering meats. Greatest food on planet Earth is a good burger. Amen. Carson.
Amen. Well, coming down to our number 3 spot. Mm. Well, steak would be my number 1, but I don't eat it a lot, so it's gotta be number 3, even though it's just perfect. Number 2, it's impossible to beat a good burger, like you said, and if you can do it right, then, I want it, you know? And bad burgers are still, like, fine. That's the one thing
Yeah,
about
the
burgers.
the burgers that we cooked on the griddle,
Yeah, exactly.
they were
Those are
perfect.
they're awful, but they're incredible. Like, there's nothing more in the world that I want in that moment. And then, I'm not being specific because I have a specific reason that chicken is the number 1. It's because it's the most versatile food in the entire world.
It's true.
Tenders, nuggets, wings, breasts, strips,
Hey, wait.
fried, grilled. I don't know what else it could be.
Baked.
In baked, in in uh stuffed,
You can
in
also put
salad,
you can
in
also put chicken
pasta,
on
and
other stuff, like chicken salad.
yeah, like come on. I value versatility. And that's it. That's it for my top 3.
I didn't even think about that
Might
with
be the most
chicken.
basic thing of all time, but I have my reasons.
Wings may have made a push for number 1 if I had thought about that.
Gosh, dude, chicken. And yes, I have a love that can't be matched for chicken wings. If you know any perfect chicken wings places, please drop them in the comments that we don't have. No, we have on YouTube and on Twitch. Tell me.
Please.
Sorry,
Please,
what?
I'm begging.
Sorry, what? I'm
Shout
just
out to a local place here in Raleigh, Sammy's, for having the best bites on planet Earth, by the way.
Oh, goodness. It's just, oh my goodness. But
All
that's
right,
it for our top 3 meats.
guys, that's just meats for you.
We're qualified in when it comes to meat. But moving on. What do we have next, Austin? Our list.
I mean, it's everyone's favorite segment, right?
It is. It is.
Absolutely.
As was top 3. But this week we're going to do a little this or that or this.
Oh,
And honestly, this one's tough. This one is really tough because we're going this or that, Ray Allen or Vince Carter. The shot versus the dunk. And I don't really know. I kind of want to go with or in this or that.
Yeah, which is fair.
I'm going with the. I'm definitely going with the this.
Yeah.
Which would be Ray
Uh,
Allen.
name one thing Vince Carter was better than everybody at besides dunking. That's not a real, you know,
Well, and he
thing
wasn't even
in
better than
basketball.
everyone else at dunking. It was just the dunk contest.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
name one thing he is literally top five in.
Uh,
Playing until he's 45.
yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at it, but probably some stuff because of longevity.
No, no. Ray Allen was always Ray Allen's a top five shooter probably of all time, and
3, right?
maybe well no, probably not top three shooter
What?
of all
Curry,
time.
Ray, Reggie.
I mean, I probably would put him at four. I'd go Steph, Clay, Bird,
Oh,
Allen.
that's tough. I mean, trust me, I want to put Clay up there, but not yet.
I
Well, what
mean,
more does he have to
I mean,
do?
that's fine. I'm not gonna dispute you with that, but he's one of the best shooters of all time, and I think also he had a pretty long career as well. Won championships. He literally hit the clutchest shot of all time, and Vince Carter doesn't have any of that or anything close to that. So that's why I have to go with the this.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I hate LeBron, so I'm going Vince Carter.
He literally. What about the Celtics championship? What about the big three there?
Oh, well, LeBron actually invented big threes, so that wasn't a thing.
It's true.
Just,
Obviously, it wasn't a
just,
big three.
just like there weren't shoulder
No.
strikes in the UFC before Connor.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
No, I like Ray Allen. And I am not going Vince Carter, obviously,
that's tough criticism.
because I
Listen,
mean,
Ray Allen was one of my favorite players growing up. He's awesome, and I love him.
yeah, I mean Vince is Showtime, but Ray is everything else, right? So like Ray Allen was exciting, obviously, but
Ray Allen or Vince Carter's the Mac McClung of the NBA.
No shot.
Mm-mm.
Listen, listen,
no, I
listen.
mean he's still a
I've
legend.
listen. I've got the stats up, right? I limited it because A, longevity, and B, longevity to just the first 15 years of their career, which sounds hilarious. But I'm
Okay.
looking at these stats right now, and they might be the most comparable players in history. Like their offensive ratings and defensive ratings are basically the same. Uh, Vince Carter always played less minutes, but he was more efficient scorer, rebounder, passer, defender.
Well, I promise
And
you, if I only shot 3-pointers, I would be a much less efficient shooter than you if you shot layups.
I mean, that's true. But wait, did I say shooter? I didn't mean shooter. I didn't He wasn't more efficient from 2 or from 3, but he averaged more points a game, more points per 36, more points per 100 possessions, blah blah blah, and he played less minutes.
Hmm.
More rebounds, more assists, more steals, more blocks, and has a better average like defensive metric because whatever defensive blocks plus minus is.
Well, was Vince Carter playing with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh to where he was literally the third option every time he was on the court, but was still the best at what he did at that third option?
I don't think so.
No. And I'm not
No.
arguing for Vince Carter. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not picking Vince Carter. I'm just saying on paper these guys seem to be a little bit closer than would normally think.
And that's fair, but I think if you put Vince Carter in a spot where he's playing with, two of the greatest at their position at the given time, then he wouldn't be as eye-popping either.
Hmm. That's interesting. I mean,
We'll never know.
obviously we'll never know, but
I mean, what Vince Carter played with rookie T-Mac for a couple years.
I mean, hypothetically, if it's Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, and Dirk, like, is he? I mean, he's the third option, but I think he would fit fine. It's just we don't know.
Yeah, he helps
It's true.
round that team out a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
true. I guess that's why we have a this or that, right?
True.
Yep.
Because there is no right answer. It's just
There is no right
this
answer.
or
Yeah.
well, that.
I mean, that's also just how it comes when you play for 8 different teams.
Yeah.
That's true also.
But hey, the elbow dunk, iconic.
But hey,
The
dunk
he also did a
contest.
he also did a front flip dunk. Just kidding. That will never happen, but when it does, when Zion does it, it'll be the greatest thing of all time.
It
Front
literally
flip,
will be.
no trampoline dunk.
Yeah, but Blake Griffin jumped over a car, even though it was the front of the car, so it didn't really even count.
Okay,
Happy
but
birthday. Happy
Bryce can
birthday.
jump over the front of the car.
I can. I've done it. Happy birthday, Jalen Suggs, by the way.
Oh my gosh! Happy
We're,
birthday,
wow.
Jalen Suggs.
yeah, we're excited to see you play in the NBA next year.
Yeah, for the
That draft hadn't happened yet. Carson, we're still in the playoffs.
I'm expecting you to just speak it into existence because we do that.
For the Pacers G League team.
That's tough. He's supposed to be a top 5 pick.
Thunder.
Oh, there we go. Jalen Suggs for the Thunder. Hey, congratulations, Jalen Suggs. Congratulations to the Thunder. And happy birthday, Jalen Suggs.
Happy to one more year till you can have a beer.
One more year till you can have a beer. And speaking of having a beer, next week, episode 18, will be legal to have beer in some countries.
Most
So,
countries.
But
Every country except America.
we
so
can vote
maybe
and
next
smoke
week
next
we'll
week
be
though.
having beers on the podcast and we should do that in celebration of episode 21.
Oh no, you
We
can't
will. We
smoke.
will.
You can't smoke in North Carolina until you're 21 now. I forgot they changed that.
Yeah, no, they
You
just
can't.
changed
You
that.
can't. You can't buy. I
Oh,
thought.
you
I
can't
thought you could
buy
still
it. Yeah,
smoke.
yeah.
Yeah, you can smoke at like 13. You just can't
Really?
buy it or something. I
No.
don't know. I don't know the
I
laws.
mean, technically,
Do I look like a
you
lawmaker
can
to you?
smoke whenever, but yeah, so
Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want whenever. It's just get caught.
It's not legal.
That's not a license plate. But
playoffs.
anyways, everyone listening, we love you. Another great week. And we will be back next week with top 3 meets part 2.
Yes, sir.
So happy birthday, Jalen Suggs, and
Birthday.
hook 'em.
Hey,
Hook 'em.
hook 'em.